Welcome to Spurs TV. Good evening to all of you in Asia. Uh, Good afternoon to all
I
in
wasn't
Europe.
quite finished. I wasn't quite finished.
Yeah, go wash your hands, Ricky. And of course, good morning to all of you guys in the Americas, right? This part of Spurs TV will be hosting the World Spurs Tour, and of course, together we're doing the midweek show together at the same time. And of course, for today, under the World Spurs Tour, right, we would like to welcome Saikat. Saikat's from India,
Hi.
so that more and most probably that will give us the India map on our passport, right? Hi, Saikat, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you all?
Yeah,
Quite
and yeah,
buzzing post the
yeah,
result at the
yeah,
weekend.
yeah. And Jamie, have you finished licking your fingers?
And I've sprayed sanitizer as well, so I'm good. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Did you lick it after spraying or before spraying?
I would have a different I would have a different expression on my face if it was after spraying. Um.
Okay, all right.
But
Yeah.
I'm up in the air again regards Spurs because literally just before we came online, you had the reports of Kane not being on the plane to Portugal.
Yeah, we'll
So
touch on that later, right? We'll touch on that later. And of course now, Saikat,
Yeah.
let's go to you and let's see what you have on the feelings of the M.City game that went by on Sunday.
First of all, given the situation that we have the fans back, it was an outstanding atmosphere, right? And it's pity for me why like such a stadium that we built and this COVID came into place, right? So we clearly haven't got or imbibed those certain type of atmosphere more often than not. So that's the thing. So yeah, quite buzzing, and it's a beautiful start in our given stadium. Now, what I want is given those fans support and everything, and the energy, the buzz around the stadium. I want this to be continuing for the more 18 matches that we will be having in Premier League, right? And keep this as a fortress so that we can get as much as home points as possible, because history says, right, if you can forge a state your home stadium as a fortress, right, then you will get somewhere, or maybe top four that we are aiming for. So yeah,
Yeah,
quite buzzing.
yeah. And I'd like to welcome Wayne Bonner. Wayne Bonner, a great supporter of our channels. Nice to see you in the chats, right? If anything, you can ask us. We'll answer it if we can. All right. Hi, Wayne. All right. And go ahead, Saikat. Continue.
Yeah, so like, and in terms of performance, it was not entirely attacking and also not entirely defending. It was just a hybrid of both, right? So, and also the most important part were the grit, the determination, how we tackled, how like pretty much Japan Tanganga's first tackle in the 2 minutes to Sterling, right? That set the tone that how we'll be going forward in this game, right? So that's where the buzz, the the crowd getting behind the team, and the team also presenting that energy from themselves along with the crowd into their play, right? So it was fantastic, it was fantastic. So yeah, I am quite buzzing, and it's a really and very good start that we can hope for, nearly about a perfect start that we could hope for this Premier League, even with all the bad things or the rumors that is going through our club and everything, right? So yeah, fantastic, fantastic.
That's good. That's good. And as you were saying that you want to go through some player ratings and all that.
Yeah, so currently with player ratings, basically, I will be going through all the players and I give their understanding, my understanding how they have played, and a little bit of technical analysis. So, in terms, so if I start with Hugo, right? So for me, Hugo is a standard 5 or 6. Basically, it's a bit shaky how it started, because that Fernandino thing that happened. Maybe we could have gone a goal down. So I'm not sure, so it's a little bit shaky, and yeah, we can give a benefit of doubt given that he didn't have that much of preseason, so he was near about going into the team. So I think that's a, and post that I think for past 15 minutes the whole team was a bit shaky, and then we grew
Mhm.
into the game and we strong and we gave a strong finish to the game. So I think Hugo is a standard 5 or 6 for me, maybe 6 for me, because it was a standard form of performance, not too much threat given the lack of focal point that City has up front. So yeah, it was a 6 out of 10. What about you guys? According for Hugo.
For Hugo, for me, well, like you said, more or less about a six. He didn't have to do much of the time, but we had a very good defensive front in front of him. So we did
Yeah.
give him quite a leisure time until more or less Kevin De Bruyne came on and started to actually cause more of a threat. So not much of a high rank rating for him. Six or five should be a fair rating. And Jamie, what do you think about Hugo?
I actually think you guys are a little bit stingy with the scores. Um, Ultimately, he kept a clean sheet and he made some important saves. So I'll give him a 7.
Oh, that's 1
But
7.
also you have to consider the haziness or the tendiness that he happened at the beginning of the match, right? When Fernandinho just had a clear header, it was an empty goal, so that also taking into account. So yeah,
Yeah.
if that didn't happen,
No,
but
he
yeah,
could have punched. He could have punched Fernandinho's head off when you're
yeah.
going through back to the video.
We
Yeah,
used to be scared of that. I mean, Lloris
yeah,
used to be. We used to worry that he always punched the ball away and didn't get hold of it.
yeah,
But
yeah. And just to
sometimes
say a big
it's
up to Bob Spur.
necessary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Big up to Bob Spur. Thanks for support, bro. Right. We'll get to the Kane saga later. Let me finish off with the player ratings first. Yeah. And who's next for you, Saika?
So next for me, I will start with Sergio Reguilon. So I think Reguilon played really well because Mahrez and Cancelo, right? They both look identical given their hairstyle and 26, 27 jersey number. So yeah, it's a very difficult, to get into the things. But yeah, Mahrez tried to do several things, and yeah, initially like given the first 15 minutes, it was bright, right? Again, I was thinking it's just like a Carabao Cup final, right? That we will be waiting, we will soak up the pressure, and eventually we will end up losing, right? But post 15 minutes, I think Reguilon played really well, and we really grew into the game. So yeah,
Mm,
so and one thing is that left hand side, right, where Reguilon was playing, I think that was nullified because also Dele Ali put a really good shift in. So we will come to Dele Ali later. But yeah, for me, Reguilon is under Nuno. I am really seeing him defensively more able, and his positioning and everything based on like how he was when he came to Spurs, right? So I think for
mm.
Reguilon it's 7 for that because he is really pushing himself and growing as a player, as a defensive led back, not only just a wing back, right? Like Marcos Alonso or such, right? So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
because we know that he has tremendous amount of ability with the crosses and everything going up front, but it's also same has to be the in the defense, right? The covering back and everything, the work rate, everything has to be there. So I think it was a really very good performance, very promising performance from Reguilon given the defense perspective. So yeah, it's a
Mhm.
7 out of 10 for me for Reguilon.
Yeah, yeah. For me, for Reggie, is I'll more look at this. He was a more of a defensive game for him against M.City, right? So he actually, Reggie has got more attacking prowess on him, but it was a well disciplined match for him where he stayed back and he defended well. I would give him a 6 or 6.5 for his efforts on the game. What do you think, Jamie?
Well, I can't really rate all the players because again, I didn't have the advantage of watching the game. I only
Um,
was listening, so I didn't get as much ability to
mhm.
analyze. But the fact that he didn't make a mistake, he wasn't. He was more stable in his position this time. I'll agree with the scores already given.
All right. And the next player you're looking at, Zakat?
So next player will be Eric Dyer. So it's a standard 7 for me, or the yeah 7 for me, given that he threw himself everything at it, right? But the problem with Eric Dyer is till I think probably the first 15 to 15 games, I think we were top, right, at that point of time. Yes, last season. That point of time, Eric Dyer was fantastic. But with Eric Dyer, the problem is you know that it is coming in a match, it is coming. Same thing happened when Pau Torres, no, not Pau Torres, Ferran Torres, right? Ferran Torres missed a huge opportunity. So I think for Eric Dyer, it's just that most of the time when he plays it's well and good, but it's just that uncertainty that that it's coming. That's the
Mm,
bit problematic for me. So how much I rate him, how much confidence or with defensive prowess he plays, right? It's just that moments that defines the match. And I think with Eric Dyer in that back line, that it is coming. So you are not totally confident on that. So according for me, yeah, based on City, he was fantastic. He really marshaled well. He threw himself at everything. So it was very good performance. But yeah, given the consistency and everything, I think I am still a bit like jury is out there, right, for Eric Dyer. So for me, for Eric Dyer's player rating is 7 out of 10. What about
so
you?
okay. Well, for me, Eric Dyer, I won't want to talk about what happened last season and what is going to happen. Hasn't happened yet, right? But we do know he has got his weaknesses in being consistent and all that. But based on the match that went on Sunday, he did put in a performance. 7.5 would be a fair number for me. Seven and a half would be a fair number for me.
And
And
that's
Yeah.
also, I think he doesn't read the games pretty well. Like
Mm-hmm.
how the defenders reads the game, right? Like Jan
Mm-hmm.
Vertonghen or any defender, if take it, they read the game pretty well. But my problem with Eric Dyer is he is not that fast, or for that reason he doesn't have that recovering pace, and also he doesn't read the game pretty well. So yeah,
Mm.
so that's a more concerning for me in terms of Eric Dyer being as a defensive starter for me or a single starter for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would agree on the basis of what both have been said. Again, it's don't we've got can't think too much about last season, but we always have to think about consistency. We also have to think about who may possibly be coming in the next couple of weeks, as to regards whether um, he's playing for his position or not.
Yeah.
I think that Eugene's frozen.
Yeah, Eugene is frozen, I guess. So next up for me is Sanchez. I think Sanchez played really well, right? So he was fine, and that last pitch tackle that he did on De Bruyne. So I think it was a very commanding performance with for Sanchez on both the cases on in the Arsenal match as well as yesterday, or I will say the Man City match. So I think it's when Sanchez has been promising, but same issue that he has been in the club for 3 to 4 years now, and still that consistency issue that he has, right? So I think with Sanchez on the first year that we have with Sanchez when he was playing alongside Jan Vertonghen, that point of time, that season, it was fantastic. I think it was 18-19 season, I guess, if I'm not wrong. So I think for Sanchez, it's always we need to pair him with someone of Jan's caliber, like someone who has the who reads the game pretty well, who is vocal, like he will tell him what to do, what not to do, and where to go, and also to marshal that back line, right? That back four. So I think if we can find that type of a player, which Dyer is not definitely, then I think Sanchez can play. And Sanchez, according to me, whatever he has shown this season and also in Copa America, I think it's better just to keep him as a backup. And,
Well, I've just had one thought. The possibility is that, on the basis that Romero hits the ground running, maybe we're okay with Romero and Sanchez because both are Spanish speaking. So Romero being quote unquote the best centre back in Italy last season, maybe that's a pairing that can be considered, depending on who we sign.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, had some technical problems and was just kicked out for a while.
yeah, I do. Welcome back, Eugene. Yeah, but I don't think that Romero and Sanchez will work because Romero is a very aggressive defender, right? He is a nonsense center back, right? He will go and attack, and then he has the recovery pace to come back, right? So for me, I think for Sanchez, it has to be someone with calm-headed and who reads the game pretty well. Now, Romero does it or not, that we have to see. If he has, but he has the leadership ability and he is the leader for the future. But for now, we have to see, we have to watch. But if as things stands now, I think that we can't go ahead this season with Romero and Sanchez in place as our centre back pairing as of yet,
Mm.
given the
No.
Although,
current
although,
circumstances.
although Bob Spur is rightly saying that we should be aware, marking on the basis of the game, not on pre-form or future form.
Yep, yep,
So,
yep. Part of the game. So let's see what Bob Spurs says here. We are not basing the marks on the City game. Question mark. Apart from the few wayward passes, Dyer was faultless. Minimum 8 for him, right? And Sanchez was better, 8.5 to 9, right? Versus M.City, they were all awesome. Yes, I believe they were all awesome during that game too, right? And of course, what else Bob Spurs says, if you are basing the marks on how we play, the players have done before the club and previously basing on the last season, no one will get more than a 6. Yeah, that's true, Bobby. That's true, right? And as we say about it, Bobby, do you want to hop on, Bobby? I'll throw you the link. I'll throw you the link if you want to hop on. Just answer me on the chats. And okay, and let's get back to for me. Okay, as for Sanchez, like you guys were saying, whether he can integrate together with Romero or not, I think he shouldn't have a problem with that because they're both Spanish speakers. Okay, and for them to integrate, I don't think it will take that much of a difficulty. But the problem is that the question now is the fitness of Romero more than the fitness of Sanchez, right? And for me, Sanchez goes around about 7.5 to 8.2. That's how I rate him. Because it's still the first game of the season. I don't want to give people too many high marks, you know, and to overinflate our hopes on what's going to happen in the future, right? So we're just keeping it calm, keeping it calm. And who's the next player going to now?
So currently we are going to Yafet Tanganga. I think my man of the match. It was fantastic to see our academy player, right? Just marshalling. And the biggest compliment that we can give Jafet is he set the tone of how the match is going to be played and how the match is going to be approached. That tackle and to keep in your pockets for full 85 minutes the players like Sterling, given the Euro Cup that he had, Grealish, 100 million pound player. So it is fantastic. And also, I think now it is the right back of our club. The position is for him to lose. It's a fantastic display. And I also told in this show previously that I think Jaffet is far superior from, according to me, as a right back because of his strength and also the right backs we had, right? Though all those right backs were a bit short, apart from I think Walker, right? So, but Jaffet being a 6'1" player, he will have those aerial, aerial advantage upon any wingers. So I think, and also he's fast. He has that physique now. So I think it's now Jaffet's place is to lose for this right back position in our Spurs team. So I think it's a 9.5 out of 10 performance, or maybe 10 out of 10 performance, given that he has came from injury, and and those two players, it was not just one versus one, it was two versus one sometimes, and he was fantastic in those duels, in those one versus ones, as Nuno already spoken in the post-match interview, right? So I think it's fantastic how Jaffet is playing, and given those past injuries and everything, I think we should wrap him and keep him and don't overplay him, right? So I think he has to be nurtured properly given the past injuries that he had. But overall, it was a fantastic display. Fantastic display.
Yeah, for me, Jaffet, I think I'll give him 8.5 to 9. I don't want to go all the way to 10, right? Of course, he's one of our own. The performance he put in was real, how you call, steely, and he more or less set the tone for the game and set the tone for the defense and showed the way to how you said the game should be played, right? And 8.5 to 9 should be a fair score for Jaffet at the moment. And whether he gets injured or anything else that happens, we'll see down the line, right? And what do you think, Jamie?
I would say man of the match, closely followed behind by Son and Lucas.
Mora.
I mean, he put in the sort of performance that gives you hope for the Spurs season, and basically his resilience was in great part what helped create the Sun goal.
That's true. That's true. Right. And Saikat, which is the next player you're looking at?
So for me, the next player will be Oliver Skip, another one of our own, right? So yeah, he had, like, if I'm honest, he had a pretty shaky 15 minutes, right? Where he just challenged Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish went past him. So yeah, but then I think he had a challenge to Sterling around on the left hand side, which has to be inch perfect, otherwise it was a penalty. So from that moment of time, I think he gained the confidence, right? Because that was a huge cheer when he got that right and it was a corner. So I think then he grew into the game, and then the most important thing that it allowed is Hoybier to move up, to move up and to get into the game along with those three front players, right? So because given the Hoybier's power or the talent to go up and everything, I think that's a fantastic opportunity now to have Hoybier use the full potential, because on the previous season he played each and every minute of our games, right? And also we overplayed him, and also he was doing the dirty thing at the back, so he wasn't that much effective going forward because he was always shielding the back line, right? So for me, I think the inclusion of Skip as a starter for the first time, he is starting a match as a starter, because previously I think Skip started some matches, but it was due to the unavailability of maybe Ndombele or Lo Celso or maybe someone. So now, given the seasons he had under Norwich, right? So I think it was a confident start, and he really bossed that midfield with some lunging tackles and everything. So it was really good to see how he approached the game and grew into the game, and also freed Hoybier to move up to the pitch. So yeah, that was a fantastic display, and I will give him a 8.5 out of 10.
Oh, 8.5 out of 10 is very high. To me, I think Skippy will more or less deserve about a 7.5, right? So at least, how you said, he did put in a performance, but it was a shaky start. He did make a few mistakes in the midfield, right? Don't forget that part. But he did recover well, and of course, he did control as the game grew on. He grew more confident, and he did control the match quite well. And like you were saying, he did free up Hoybier to go further up a bit to help up the three, the three, the front three. Okay, 7.5 will be a fair score for me. What do you think, Jamie?
Um, again, I wasn't paying attention to all the players. I was only able to listen on radio, so um, I haven't got anything to add.
Right. Okay. All right. And Saikat, the next player you look at?
Next, I think I will go for Hoybier. So I think Hoybier, it's a standard performance for him, right? What we expect for him, like given the quality, the leadership quality, the marshalling of the each and every one that he had, right? So I think it was a fantastic display from each and every player. And also, I think Hoybier was, as usual, a standout performer on that part. And also some driving balls that he was going through, right? Winning the balls up top. And I think he had two or three times he grasped possession, and where the position was turned on. I think from one time from Sterling, I guess. Another time was from Mendy, I guess, on the halfway line. And then it
Mhm.
was then when he was moving, for me, most important part was I think Lucas was coming inside. Now he, along with the movement with the ball, is giving directions. Go that side. I will go this side so that I can play you the ball. So all these things were fantastic. Because little detail, if you take into consideration, I think Hoybier will be more immense this season if we have to get a top four or maybe top five. I think he has to
Mhm.
play really well, and he has to be injury free. So which I'm hoping for. So I think it's a standard 8 out of 10 from me from Hoiberg.
For me, Højbjerg will more or less be scoring around 7.5 to 8, right? Because more or less that's what Højbjerg does all the while. His performances, he gives in the all that he can give, and of course, in the end of the day, he has a big part to play in the future. But based on the M.City game, he marshaled it well with Skippy, and I guess Skippy will have a lot to learn from Højbjerg. So
Yeah,
in how you
yeah.
say, I'll give him about 7.5 to 8 in that ranking. And
And
have you
also we
guys?
have to take into consideration that he pretty much missed those preseason, right? It's just
Yeah,
getting match fit and getting up to the speed. And also next up is Dele Alli. So for me, I think Dele Alli was, I think he played really well. Now people are
yeah,
saying that he didn't have that much of impact in the final third, right? But
yeah,
maybe under Nuno, it is not that Nuno is expecting him to do, right? So
yeah.
for me, Nuno, what was expected of him was to cover that left hand channel, right, along with Reguilon to give him support because Nuno also know that Reguilon has in him that rash challenge. Sometimes he performs right of overdoing things. So
Yeah,
that was a fantastic. Like Dele Alli covered the most ground, right? 11.06 kilometer, I think
yep,
than
yep.
all the players. So I think Dele Alli played a huge part to keep Mahrez and Cancelo in check. So I think it was a fantastic display from Dele Alli, and it is not that type of display or what we are used to seeing, like going into that, coming to the box late, finishing those chances, going beyond the striker and stuff. But it was an industrial performance, right? Where he has to cover, he has to tackle, and he has to support Reguilon. So I think it was a fantastic display, and I think that what Nuno wants from his team, right? That what Ruben Neves does in Wolves team, that what Joao Moutinho does in his Wolves team. So I think it's a very, I think that third spot along with Skip and Hoiberg is in contention, right? I think Dos Celso, Ndombele, and Dele Alli has to compete for this one spot. So it has to be a healthy performance, and no anyone of these three can really have a bad game, or I will say that can afford a bad game. So I think
Mm,
that's a very, very, very good performance from Dele Alli, and it was a 8.5 out of 10 performance for me. And also because it was a completely new role that Dele is trying to achieve. So for me, it
mm.
was an extra, some credit has to be given to Dele Alli.
Yeah. For me, I think that Deli Ali's position, I think against M.City was, I think, a drill into him by Nuno to say that you're not to stray and run down and lose the ball, and you need to chase everything back, which more or less Deli Ali did, right? Kudos to him. And we hopefully will see a more attacking Deli Ali in the future
Yeah,
against weaker teams,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So for me, I won't give him up to 8.5. I'll more or less give him a 7 to 7.5 for Deli Ali, right? The performances, of course, if he was a 8.5, I would want to see him at least going forward more and being more creative. But I guess what you say is correct. The job given to Delhi by Nuno, especially during the second half, okay, that I think most probably Nuno must have sat him down and told him, okay, this is what you got to do and do it well for me, which is actually he ran back and covered nearly every ball that was lost. Yeah.
yeah.
During whenever they were pressing. Yeah. So that I'll give him a 7 to 7.5. And Jamie, any comments on that?
No, no. I just need to either get a cable connection or be more confident with VPN.
Yes, yes,
But
yeah,
I think you can see on the Twitters, right? Twitter channels
uh,
are there.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
no, no. I have to. It has to be legit. It has to
yeah,
be
but
legit.
yeah, we won't go there for the time being at the moment. Okay, we carry on. The next player, Saikat.
Next player will be going towards Lucas Moura. I think another one of the man of the match contenders, right? I think he was electric. I think he is the most improved player this year in Spurs. When I think around 2021 January time, right, when Mourinho placed him in camp, that camp position behind the striker, there he became more effective, right? Because what happened previously when he was running down the channels, it was on the channels, and if he would have beaten three, four players or two players on the side, also it was not that effective. But now, as he is coming into the middle, he is just going through that defense and the heart of the defense, right? So it's all the places are becoming available to him. So maybe sometimes Luca Bowen is having on the left, sometimes Son is having on the right, sometimes Kane is there to support him, so he can find a pass And also one thing that he added in his game is now that he is looking up and he is predicting those through balls that we have also seen in the preseason, right? So I think Nuno has the ability to do that. I think that's what he did with Adama Traore, right? Because previously also Adama Traore didn't have any end product. It was just running, 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 and doing nothing with the ball. Now what happened is he had a brilliant season post prior to last season, right? Where he had some brilliant assists and everything. I think now this season I think will be a vital season for Lucas Moura because given he has that tremendous amount of ability, right? He is fast, he is quick, he has tremendous dribbling ability, and also he has a shot in him that we saw, right? So I think that given he looks up and he is ready to free everyone up and feed others, given the proper and always choose the proper option to take. I think it will be a fantastic, fantastic season for Lucas Moura, and it is a 9 out of 10 performance for me from Lucas Moura.
Yeah. And Guguma, I know you're saying that Mora was awesome. We're doing some player ratings. If you can, just put what do you think the player rating is for Mora, right? And I'd like to say hello to Hotspur Huddle. Thank you for joining us. I think this is the first time I've seen you in the chats. And if you two have any player ratings for Mora, just put it in the chats, right? All right. And guys, for me, I will say more or less for Mora, I will more or less look at him as
More or less.
more or less, yes, more or less. Yeah, that's another one. We can keep that.
Okay.
How we say? I will give him a rating of around 8 to 8.5 for what he's done. And how would you say? Uh, Mora, I think with Nuno around, Nuno is using him to his best ability, right? Uh, and giving him the support that he needs when he's going on his runs. That's the most important thing, right? And we try not to go back to last season, what's happened and all that, and how they've been used. But this season, we see that Mora has been used to how you say his best ability. And for Guguma is giving Mora a 9. Big up, Guguma. Big up. And of course, Hotspur Huddle says that how would you say? Hotspur Huddle says yes, it's his first time on the stream. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Please like and subscribe if not. Right. And let's see what Wayne Bonner says.
He's a fellow vlogger. He's got his own. He's a young
Yes,
guy that's got his own channel.
He's got his own channel. Yes. Most probably we'll subscribe to your channel too later after this.
I just have.
You just have all right. Mora and the Beast. That is the Ganga, both men of the match. Okay, Wayne Bonner has said that. All right. So come to the next player. Jamie, have you got anything to add on Mora? More or less.
I'm just glad to see players who last season were on shaky ground showing their worth.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel, no pun intended, that our player hunt isn't so dire. We still need to make some more purchases. I like the idea of the Fiorentina double buy, although it seems Atletico Madrid want to get Dusan. But if we can keep moving in the right, no season can be judged on one game. But if we keep moving in this direction, playing the way we have played, certainly in the second half, I'm going to have less heart problems.
Yeah. And of course, Hotspur Huddle says that he'll give Mora a 9 too. Big up, Hotspur Huddle. All right. And who's the next player you're looking at?
Next player will be Stevie Bergwijn. So for me, Stevie looks promising, right? He has that pace. He is a perfect mold of pace, intelligence, and also the build that he has, right, in him, the strength and everything. It's just that the finishing that he has to do because that was a golden of a chance that he missed, right? There, the match would have ended, but it wasn't. So I think that he needs to work on, but he looks really sharp, and also Nuno really loves him, right? Because that's the reason Ajax came for him for 25 million of pounds, but they told no. Nuno told he has to be there. He is in the plans. So he is really young. I think 23 years old. So he has got time, but he really to sustain in Premier League, he really has to up the ante and also have that finishing in him. He has that ability, but he has to have that finishing in him. So for me, it's around 7.5 out of 10 for me for Stevie B.
7.5 time. Yeah. Stevie B, more or less, I will give him more or less the same scores as you guys have given him. The only thing what he lacks at the moment is his scoring boots, right? If he can get his scoring boots on, he performs the way he performs, right? More or less he'll reach the 8 and 9, 8.5 level. But at the moment, 7.5 is what I will be giving him. And
Also,
Jamie,
we
have you got
have
it?
to consider, right, that he doesn't get that run of games under his belt. It's
Yeah,
always Son, right, who plays on the
yeah,
left when
yeah,
Kane
yeah,
plays up front. So
yeah,
that benefit of doubt also it has to be given. But yeah,
yeah.
we have to wait and see.
Yeah. And guys, what do
Uh,
you think about the score for Stevie Bergwijn? Let's put it in the comments for us. And Jamie, have you got any comments to add for Stevie B?
No, no. Well, coming third in giving my viewpoint, then you've pretty much taken my views. It's basically if Stevie gets his scoring boots on, then we've discovered the form of a player that we need.
Yeah, yeah. And Hotspur Huddle says 7.52, right? 7.52. And what is it? Bergwijn 7.5, so quick to get away from the defenders. Yes, very correct. And yes, Wayne Bonner, yes, I've had my hair cut. Yeah, yeah, I had my haircut yesterday.
Yeah,
So
the one on
big
the
up.
left.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. The one on the left.
No, I don't have any to cut. I have no choice.
All right. And okay, the next player.
Next player is Son, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I think Son really underperformed in this game
Mm.
because
Sorry.
of his.
Hold on.
He
Google
scored.
Maps giving a 7. Yeah, for Steven Bergwijn. Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think
And
Son a bit underperformed for me, and also the reason is that he had many opportunities to put the game at bed, but he didn't do that. Sometimes he was thinking, sometimes he was like a blank on the first, especially right when we had those chances. So I think a player of Son's quality and what he has, right? I think for me the problem is that when the time and when you expect him that he will not score from there, he can't score from there. That point of time he will score, and when you know that he has the time and everything and the space, that point of time most of the chances he missed are in those point of time, like those point of times. It's not that I mean that he doesn't score those, but those misses that he does is more or less on that positions. So that's a bit awkward for me. So I think because the goal came from nowhere, like it was just a step over and left hand side boom. So that's how Son plays. It's just instinctive, right? So whenever he gives those amount of time that when he needs to think and too much options, I think that's a bit problematic for Son, because Son is one of those players like Salah, right? Who is a bit instinctive. Like they does things based on their instincts and based on their quickness, that maybe he doesn't have all those abilities like name or right to flick and to do the tricks and everything. It's just a step over boom. So it's just that Sun really, I think he hasn't overperformed for me or performed really well, but I think there are a lot of improvements that has to be made. So because he scored that beautiful goal, that he told that he was lucky, and I don't know that what Diaz was doing in front of him, right? Ederson. So somehow it went in. So I think Sun is pretty much 8 out of 10 for me. A
mm.
7.5 to 8 out of 10 for me.
7.5 out of 10. For me, Sonny is that, like you say, that he doesn't score the easy goals, right? So that means he has to score the difficult goals. I will give him a sign of more or less of a 8 to 8.5 for me. 8 to 8.5, right? Jamie, have you got anything to add?
Much the same, but all I can say is a goal covers a multitude of sins.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I think we have to do this, right? Hotspur Huddle says that Sony's a 9.5, and there's a song after that, right? Nice one, Sony. Nice one, Son. Nice one, Sony. Let's have another one.
Okay, okay. Don't give up your day job, Eugene.
I will never give up my day job. Actually, don't even have a day job now.
Okay,
This is my day job.
okay.
uh, all right. And the next player we're going to, are you going to the substitutes?
I don't think so. I think those pretty much were late, right?
Yeah.
So substitute is not required, I guess, for this
All right.
match to be specific.
Okay, I'm getting a
Uh,
sweet tooth because I've just seen a message from a individual who has my favorite sustenance. He's
yes, yes,
coming on
yes.
in a few minutes.
Yep,
I
I know. Your favorite sustenance is coming on. Yes.
Yeah,
All
my
right.
favorite nephew.
Yeah. Your American nephew.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no. He's American, Cuban, Brazilian. He's generally American, North and South.
Okay. Let's get back to the football instead of talking about food and nationalities. Shall we go
That won't be
straight?
the
Shall
last
we?
of that.
We'll never. It will never be last yet. All right. Shall we go to the ECL game then? Saikat?
Yeah.
Yeah. The ECL game against Pacos de Ferreira. So, what do you think about the game? It's happening tomorrow.
So I don't know
Tomorrow.
that finishing.
Tomorrow
Yeah,
morning for
tomorrow.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. So I don't think that why we are playing a playoff for this. Like we
Hmm.
are not in the group stages at all. So it's a bit mad for me. But yeah, that's how it is. So yeah, I think like I am expecting the young players to fill in, and also I think I am expecting 45 minutes from Romero and Lo Celso. Doherty maybe. Those are the senior players, and also I want to see Dane Scarlett, Brian Hill, and Niall John
Yeah.
and
Oh, he,
Pastovsky. So all those players
Mm.
I want to see on tomorrow's match. So basically, I think it will be a match for the younger persons as an audition,
Yeah.
and
Just
also a training match for those our new signings.
Yeah.
Galini, yeah.
Just hold on for a while. Let me bring on a guest.
Yes, guys.
Hey, good morning, Daniel. How's it?
yes, it's the serial killer. Hey,
Sorry, I'm late. I just woke up.
Yeah,
I,
it's
I
okay.
had I
you
had a
still have
five
a
minute.
you still have a sore throat from celebrating the goal.
Yeah, pretty
You
much.
were screaming.
I was gonna open the door, run all the way to my nearest 7-Eleven, get the slushy.
Oh dear,
Uh,
the
well,
slushy thing. Yeah.
I think your dad was a bit too calm for you to do that. He was defending himself quite well at the end of the game, even though
Hmm.
he still didn't accept that he lost.
Yeah. And Google Ma is saying hi to you, Daniel. Big up, Google Ma. Right. And this is I call Hospital Huddle. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Daniel, we've just gone through the players' rating. Do you have anything to add to it? You want to just give us a quick run by of the players' rating, or what you think
For the
for the
city
first
game.
the first team? Yeah, for the City game, we just go for the first team, not the substitutes.
All right.
Hugo.
So Hugo, it was pretty average performance. There was a few saves where I thought he could have put it to the side, but he ended up putting it back into danger. So if he could fix that, I think it would be more of an 8 and a 7. But I'm giving him a 6.
Regulon.
Reguilon was a pretty average performance because they were playing the ball more to the right instead of the left. Tanganga had all the work to do, and Reguilon he had work to do, but wasn't as much as Tanganga. So I'm giving Reguilon a 6 as well.
All right. And what about Dyer?
Dyer actually had a good performance, I thought. We slate him every time he has a bad performance, so I thought give him credit where credit is due. I'll give him a 7.5.
All right. And what about Sanchez?
Sanchez, I don't know because I want to give him an 8 just because I thought he had a better performance than Eric Dyer. I might put Eric Dyer back to a 7, and then I'll give it that was Sanchez a 7.5 because the thing was Eric Dyer, they were both solid defensively, especially that last minute tackle Sanchez did on Kevin De Bruyne. I don't know if you remember it. Um, and also Sanchez was really good with his passing. Eric Dyer made a few mistakes with his passing, so that's where I think Davinson Sanchez gets the extra 0.5 rating for me, but for me it's gonna be a 7.5 for Sanchez.
All right. And what about Tanganga?
A 9.
Okay, that's a quick
That
one. All right. Yeah, do I have to say more, right? A
yeah,
nine.
nothing
Enough.
more.
Yeah.
Remember,
Yeah, nothing more.
Danny is considering putting his name on the back of his next shirt.
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to, but there's so much going on right now. Every time I ask my parents, can we go to the shops to print his name on the back of my? Oh no, right now I'm busy.
Okay,
Okay.
Dan,
Yeah.
just wait a couple more games. Let's see if he strings that kind of performance together before you commit to the back of the shirt.
No, no, that's what your dad is doing for you for making him wash all the dishes. But okay, let's get on to the game. What do you think about Skippy?
Well,
I prefer
Skippy,
Peter Pan.
I thought in the beginning he made a few mistakes. In the beginning he made a few fouls. So after he picked up his game a little, I'll give him a 7 because in the beginning it wasn't too great. I would have given him a 6 if he would have continued that performance from the beginning. Then afterwards he started playing good, and so I'll give him a 7.
All right. Then what about Hoybier?
Hoiberg, I'll give him a 7 as well. He was really solid. Not much two mistakes, but it was like the typical Hoiberg. It's what you expect from Hoiberg. So
All right.
7 is like the average rating for him. But oh, as always, warrior, absolute warrior.
Okay. Deli Ali.
You see, with Delhi, it's a completely different thing now because last times we saw Delhi, he was trying to get back to the one that he was before, trying to make people flicking it up and hitting it from the halfway line. Now, now he was actually like, it's a new Deli Ali. You know, in the Amazon documentary when Jose Mourinho said, "Oh, this is Deli's brother. Where's Deli?" If this is actually Deli's brother, I wouldn't be too bad about it because Deli's brother is making in the tackles. He's going in for. I don't know if you remember but back when Davison Sanchez made his tackle. Deli Ali went in for like a tackle from behind just so he wouldn't like he just went sliding in like doesn't care if
Yeah.
he gets a yellow or anything. He just wanted to do it for the team. That's the Deli Ali want to be seeing. And if he stays like
Okay.
that, I wouldn't be too worried. So I'll give him an 8. I'll give him an 8.
Okay. Okay. And what about Mora?
Oh my, Lucas Moura was just dribbling through all their players. It was like watching the prime Lionel Messi against Ibar in La Liga. Like it was insane, and I honestly thought that at one point with the Jack. I don't know if you remember the Jack Grealish, where Jack Grealish was he fouled Jack Grealish, and then Jack Grealish got in his face and started telling him stuff. Lucas Moura was just telling him, not making any faces, just looking at him. He was looking up because Jack Grealish is taller than him. But I just think that Lucas Moura, if he continues, some games he plays good, some days he plays bad. But today he actually played with a little bit of intelligence instead of running into a bunch of defenders.
Today,
But not today. Against Manchester City, he played with a lot more intelligence, not dribbling into a bunch of defenders instead. When he was going to go into a bunch of defenders, having the defender come towards him so he can make space for another player to give him the ball. So I'll give Lucas Moura an 8 as well.
All right. And what about Stevie B?
Stevie B had a good performance except for that shot. If you would have taken out that shot, I probably would have given him an 8. I'll give him a 7.5 though because I just think he needs to fix his confidence.
All right. And what about Son?
Sonny, obviously the goal scorer, so he had a good performance other than the goal. He had a few shots, but Sonny, I'll give him a 8 as well.
All right. Okay, so we've covered all more or less the player ratings at the moment. And the next part we're looking into the ECL game against Pacos de Ferreira. And is Saikat, you still around, Saikat?
I think he may have had to step away for
Oh,
something.
never mind. All right. Let's come to you first, Jamie. What do you think about the game, Pacos de
But
Ferreira?
apart from the fact that the team
we
sound,
don't go to the Hurricane side first. Just look at what we
I
have.
didn't say anything.
All right.
CG doesn't like going to the Hurricane side.
Yeah. Apart from the fact that the team we're playing sounds like a box of chocolates, maybe we should call them Rocher, Paco de Ferreira. But no, it's it's going to be probably a couple of first team players and a mixture of academy and youth, um, and then put some uh, first team players on as substitutes if somehow we manage to mess things up.
Okay. And what do you think, Daniel?
I think the squad is quite interesting. I think personally that's gonna end up being the it's gonna be the same thing as a few preseason games. Halftime there's gonna be a lot of substitutions. So yeah,
Be like play.
I'm not gonna
I,
get
th-
into the Harry Kane situation because of Eugene,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
I think it'd be like playing MK Dons.
yeah,
No,
pretty much.
no,
But
more or
MK
less.
Dons,
If I see it like, I think there should be at least six youngsters or maybe uh, B team players on that first team, right? In Parker's Ferreira game, maybe you might have to throw in a two or three or four more. More. I think Golini will play. All right, Romero should come in. Hill should come in for match time. These three players. Okay. Then from there maybe you go around. I see Pascal C is there. There are a lot of other players are coming in. So the Pacos de Ferreira game, it's away. It's a good chance for the players who haven't had enough play time to have a chance to play, and the youngsters that are and up and coming to have their chance to have a run around, right? And Saikat, you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
can hear
possible.
you.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
okay.
That's good. That's good. All right. Saikat, I guess you got to leave soon, right? So you have anything to say before you want to go off, or you want to?
Nothing
Shall we just
much.
touch on
I'm
the?
just yeah.
Shall we just touch on the hurricane scenario for a while?
Ooh,
Yeah, so like see, Hurricane scenario is for me, I think he will stay. I
Mhm.
think
No, I know. I'm
because
saying why is he not on the plane to Portugal? We don't want to
I
speculate
think
whether he stays or go. Just see
because
why. Why?
I think that we can't say that he will stay as of yet, but maybe because there is some speculation, some doubts surrounding him, and we have to wait till this weekend, I guess. Post maybe Monday, right? Monday will be the deadline. I think it's 23rd, I guess, right? 23rd or 24th of August. So that will be the deadline for me. And I think if that exceeds and Harry Kane is still a Tottenham player, then I think that the deal will not happen. But also that told you in the background, right? That if now suddenly we buy some players, right, around 30 million, 40 million, then I think that the levy all is just keeping those things or just playing a PR that Hurricane will stay. We are not, allowing him to go and stuff. All those, I think eventually he will go. But before that, he will give Paratici ample amount of time to get those players that he will be aiming for and keep all the things ready. So once
Mhm.
all the things are set, done, the contracts are signed, or maybe are ready to be signed, then I think he will directly tell that okay, we have a the announcement that Kane will be leaving, and yeah, those players will be coming in. So I think that may be another scenario. So either that will happen, or I think Harry Kane will stay. So yeah, but for me, if you want, if we get around 150 and plus add-ons or stuff, I think Harry Kane should leave because
Mhm.
next year again this transfer saga will start coming out that yeah, we are not he is not want to play or something of that sort, and we might have to lose him. We're under like with very small amount of money, right? Maybe 40, 70, 60 million of pounds, because he will be having 2 years left. And
Mhm.
also,
Mhm.
so I'm not
and
sure that potential buyers will be out there or not, given he will be 29 next season.
at least
Mhm.
there's also some
Mhm.
good news that apparently Qatar and some of the Middle Eastern teams are looking at Sissoko.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm. Yeah. 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 And I'd like to say a big up to Wayne Bonner. Wayne Bonner says he'd like to see Sessignon play in the ECL game. Give him a good run of
But will
games.
he play? Because he just played, I think, yesterday under 23 match, right? With
Mhm.
Chelsea under 20.
He might play because the under 23 match against Chelsea could be his training
Warm up.
regime or fitness for
But
warm up for
but
him
he
to
played
get back.
around 45 minutes, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
He played around
So
45
right,
minutes.
and of course, Google Ma says that haven't seen Sessignon in a long while. And John Fitzpatrick, hi John, big up to you. Thank you for supporting. Right, and let's see what the Hotspur Huddle says. We're talking about the old Delhi Ali bag. Will be a new signing if we can imagine we had the PSV Bird wine. Right, so he's asking Google Ma a question. Right, and of course,
No, I think
there's
it's making
more comment.
more of a questioning statement.
Yeah,
That if we had Ali and Bergwijn in their sort of premium form,
yeah,
a la
yeah, yeah.
PSV and previous seasons
Mhm.
for Ali, then
Mm-hmm.
that might be as good as an extra signing.
Yeah, yeah. And Gugama says that I only saw YouTube clips of him playing at PSG, but don't know what you mean. But it seems there's a different player, different energy. But I said, playing in the Eredivisie is a different total kettle of fish, right? Can I say that
Because
kettle
we
of
saw
fish?
the same thing with Bowen, right? Bowen was
Mm.
a fantastic player. He
Player in the
bossed everybody
Eredivisie,
for two
yeah,
seasons.
yeah.
But
But the
now
problem
he's
was
not getting a
in the
goal.
EPL, it's totally different, right? Once you come to
Yeah.
Premier League, that's why a lot of players who have potential overseas still needs to come into the Premier League to prove their worth before they can say that they've done it, right? So that's why I think a lot of top players are attracted to the Premier League because of that, because the Premier League is the hardest league in the world at the moment and the most competitive league in the
Not
in
only,
the
I
world at the
will say,
moment.
just competitive based on the performance or the ability of the players, right? It
Hmm.
also the exposure. It's
Yeah,
also the banters that you will receive if you have a bad game, bad miss, right? Everything
yeah,
has to be taken into account. And also with like the physicality is a part of it, but I think also the surroundings, the fans, how they boo you, if you go to the away stadiums, those
hmm,
pressure
hmm.
everyone can't handle. That has to be, you have to got that extra something to have
For
that
Huddle,
ability in to play in Premier League and get succeeded. You
Yes,
might
that's
not
true.
have
That's
to
true.
be hugely talented, but has to have that perseverance in him, in you, right? That you
Mm.
can perceive and you can persevere through all those obstacles and also play. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that has to be there.
Yeah, yeah. And a comment from John Fitzpatrick. Big win on Sunday. The biggest thing I take from the game is we don't need a right back at the moment. Tanganga is fire. He is going to have a massive season if he stays fit. Yes, there is a problem with Tanganga at the moment. He's quite injury prone. So that's why I said we have to look after his fitness. All right. We do have to look after his fitness. Okay. Uh, and coming to the European Champions League game against Pacos de Ferreira, what do you think, Daniel?
I think it's just going to be a game for the youngsters. I'm really excited to see Brian Gill or
True. So
Brian
am I.
or Brian Hill.
Hill. Brian
I'm not
Hill.
sure how to
Right.
pronounce it.
It's Hill.
Yeah, but
or the stunt double for a certain Big Bang Theory character.
Jamie, you always have the biggest puns.
Yeah, yeah. He
Mm,
tries.
that's what my wife
Yeah.
says. Okay,
Look,
but okay. Like you say
I'm
now,
just,
the question comes in again. Uh, okay, Saikat, you have to go now.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Have,
See you
have you got
guys.
any last words to put in before you leave?
Yeah, just come on, you Spurs. That's all.
All right, Saikat.
that's all you need.
Saikat, don't forget this Sunday we are doing the four shows in one stream. Right. Hope you'll be there to join us. Right. The watch along.
Yeah, I really hope
Look.
so. Given
Yeah.
I am not busy and I don't have other stuff to do, but yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're
looking
doing
forward.
the
Watch. Yeah.
you're doing the four shows
Multi-purpose
in one stream.
broadcast.
Yeah. We're doing the four
Multi-purpose
show.
broadcast.
The one four
Oh,
show. The pre-show. Right. Watch along. Halftime show and post-match review
yeah,
all at
because
one time.
I might go. I might be in a pub for.
You might be in pub.
Oh,
Yeah. Join us.
stick with the lemonade.
Yeah. No, join us. Join
For
us.
the
You know,
Wolves
you can.
game.
I'll send you the link. I want to see the atmosphere in the pub they're in. You see
All
how many
right.
Spurs fans there is. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Saika. Take care. Catch up next week.
Yeah,
Catch up this
bye.
Sunday.
Come on, you
Yeah. Bye
Spurs.
bye.
Yeah.
Come
Come
on,
on,
you
you
Spurs.
In your
Yeah.
cup.
Inik out. Levy out. Right. Okay, guys. It's just down to three of us. Do you have any more things you want to add on to the show?
Well, I have the passport with the Indian flag now. If you want me to send it to you.
You can send it to me. We'll put it on the next round. And of course, we have to try to get hold of Kieran and let's see how he's doing, right? Because I think he's got some internet connection problems and all that. But at the moment,
He's moved further out into the countryside.
I know he's staying near the Blue Ridge Mountains. So every time I see him, I want to sing that song.
Yeah, sorry, Laurel and Hardy, Daniel. If you want to check that song out, it's a classic comedy from before we was born.
Yeah, even before we was born, you know.
Yeah,
Not
that's
you.
a long time ago.
That's a long time ago in your time, right? Okay, that's a good question here. Let's see. We can get some answer some questions from the comments here from Hotspur Huddle. This is a good question. Would you like Tomiyasu through the door for £20 million, or put your trust in a player who has come up through the youth ranks and is one of our own, rather than spend it and one of your own and 20 million towards the Dusan's signing?
Saying
Uh,
rather than sign Tomiyasu, put 20 million towards Vlahovic and give some of the academy players a chance. Or do you want to go for Tomiyasu?
I know.
I still like this. I still like the sound of Vlahovic and Milenovic.
What do you
as a
guys think
double
of?
deal.
What do you guys think of Pasowski?
What position does he play? Right back?
Right back, yeah, right back.
He plays right back, right?
He not enough experience at the higher level.
But do you think he has potential? Because I saw him.
Yeah, but we need potential's one thing, but at the moment we need someone that can hit the ground.
But the thing, Paskotsi, is that how you pronounce it?
He has an X in his name. It's not as easy to pronounce.
Yeah, that's why. No, but whatever it is, I think he should get a good run out in the cup games. Then maybe you can blood him in slowly to put him into the first team team in the Premier League, right? But at the moment now, if we do take Tomiyasu, Hotspur Huddle, we more or less have a very versatile backline player, which can play either left back, centre back, or right back. But more or less, if he does come in, I guess he would strengthen the right back, and we do not have to rely on Aurier and Doherty too much, right? With Tanganga and Tomiyasu over that position, I feel more confident than bringing one up through the youth. And the scenario for Dusan is that that's always the biggest question, because it's more or less linked to the Harry Kane scenario or the saga that we are going through. That one we have to see. Don't forget, Dusan he just had one good season in Sierra A, right? And whether my biggest fear with strikers that we bought recently, right, like the Jensen and Soldado, right, and we really hope that he doesn't turn into one. But maybe with the coaching of Nuno, he might be a good player to get in. But at the moment, I hear Atletico Madrid, is really pushing to buy him. And I guess what Fiorentina is doing, if I'm not mistaken, Dusan is from Fiorentina, right? What Fiorentina is doing, Fiorentina is playing what you call who can pay the highest, right? Between Spurs and Madrid.
They put the bait in the water, and they're seeing if they can catch the biggest fish.
Yeah.
Hotspur Huddle, he's a right back.
Hotspur Huddle, he's a pure right back.
Yeah.
Let me see. His name is Patsovsky. Yeah.
No X. Yeah. Sorry. It
no
just
X.
Sounds
Patsovsky.
like it does.
Not sure, but he is a left back or right back. I think he's a right back. He's a right back. Daniel, you sure?
Yeah, he's a right back. I saw. I saw in all the preseason matches that he was playing right back. So. Okay.
All right. So I guess I would still rather more or less have Tomiyasu than have Patsovsky.
Yeah, but if Kane is on his way out, Skriniar and Vlahovic, or is that's just wishful thinking?
Wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, Skriniar and Dusan. If Kane is on the way out, I don't know. I'd rather have Martinez and Dusan if Kane is on the way out.
Earlier, Sycat was mentioning someone that can shout out orders and whatnot, and I think Skriniar would fit the bill. Seasoned, quality, professional defender.
but can Skriniar play right back?
I'm thinking
Right.
of him more as a central defender, a central centre back, and having Tanganga hopefully fit as the right back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
This one.
thinking, I'm thinking, Lloris, chain of command, Lloris, Skriniar, Højbjerg, and then Son or whoever we've got up front.
All right. Okay. Let's see how it goes from there. Okay. Bob Spurs is going to join us. I'll just send him the link. Send to Bobby. And guys, go ahead. Let me do some typing in.
Okay, Danny, come on. This is our moment. We can talk about cereal. We can talk.
Jamie, I really want to organize the tier list for cereal.
Mm.
You wanna? It could be like Cookie Crisp.
Are you saying that you want to change my nickname? Jamie Lucky Charm Pretty? Or Captain Crunch Pretty? uh, Cookie Crisp is weak in comparison. I mean,
I like it. I like it. It's not a bad cereal. There's
it's
worse
but
cereals.
it's middle of the road. It's not exciting, but it's not boring.
Okay.
What do you
Okay,
think
guys,
about
I'm
Cocoa
back.
Puffs?
No more cereal.
What do you,
Okay, let's
Hotspur
let's
Huddle's
let's
asking.
let's read out a comment from Hospital. He's asking one opinions on Zuma move. I think it would be awful. He's a mid-table defender, in my opinion, aka Arsenal. Okay, we would like that to go to Arsenal, right?
I would say that again. It's the scattergun approach of Paratici. Throw in the um, the scouts out to all different possible players. Zuma, I'm only thinking is half serious. Again, it's coming from a rival to us is always going to be contentious. If you took out the fact that he's a Chelsea player, I would still think that he wouldn't be a bad signing if we got the right price. Not a Levy price, just a decent price that wasn't going to be.
Jamie.
Now, Coco, okay, right, Mr. Hotspur Huddle, we're talking American cereals. English cereals
Any
have their
cereal.
place.
Any
No.
cereal.
But
Well,
Cocoa
we have
Pops.
Cocoa Puffs. Puffs with the UF, and they're pretty much the same thing.
You what?
Oh,
Yeah.
Cocoa Puffs,
Did you just?
PUFs.
No, he swore at me.
No, he just
He
said
said,
Cocoa Puffs with the
uh,
UF. Oh.
You just got the joke.
Okay.
yeah, Hospital Huddle.
Uh,
I know I'm British born, but I spent several years in America on my annual month holiday that I took, and I got a taste for the, there are things that every country does well, and the Americans they have ice cream sundaes, soda, and cereals down, and they do some mean barbecue. So
oh, don't go to the barbecue story again, please,
Have you
Jamie.
guys
We went through it. Before.
with Will Stewart? Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
That's
there
how
was a
isn't that how you
there
guys
was a
met?
1 hour barbecue talking about food and barbecue.
But
yeah,
Wow,
but
football
isn't that
trip.
how
yeah,
you
but
guys
on
met?
but no, but so on some of the other fellow channels, it can go left field. As long as he doesn't dominate the whole conversation.
Okay.
I
All right.
respect that.
Yeah. What
Just
did
read out comments from John Fitzpatrick. We need another midfielder. Our squad just still 2 weeks to challenge for top four. It's typical for Levy. Never spend when we really need it. All right. But hold on, guys. I've got another guest coming in. Please welcome.
Bob?
Hi,
Come on,
Bobby.
Spurs.
Come on, you
Come on.
Spurs.
Thank you for
Yes.
getting us to stop looking backwards
Did you
when
guys
we came to scoring the teams.
Did you guys see the Fabrizio Romano tweet?
No, which
Regarding,
one?
Regarding Lautaro Martinez.
is he coming?
No, 56 minutes ago, this is the tweet. Lautaro Martinez agent has a meeting with Inter today in Milano The agreement to extend his contract is now getting closer. The final details will be
Yeah,
completed next week.
I sent that link in the private chat to Eugene.
I don't usually look at that.
Basically,
I'm too busy.
it was saying how it was going to decide what was happening with Martinez. I mean, I think at the moment, because Lukaku's gone, they need to keep him somehow, and they're going to need a healthy check to let go of him.
Yeah. And Guguma remembers that BBQ talk. We had fun. Yep. and Hotspur Huddle is saying hi to Bob. Hi.
Big up.
I'm sorry, Bob. Being church boy, I want to say your famous moniker, but I don't want to. I'll just have to. I put a sign with stars in front of my face.
Yeah. I got to tie it right here.
The feeling's mutual though. It's all out of love.
Absolutely, definitely out of love. Crunchy nut cornflakes for me. That's to be number one.
No. That was before I had holidays to America. Crunch nut cornflakes,
100%.
big bowl, nice ice cold milk,
Have you ever-
Nice cold milk, yeah.
Bob, have you ever had Lucky Charms?
and space for a sec. Well, he has around his wrist on a little bracelet.
Guys, to tell the truth, I'm old school. I still love the Frosties.
Yeah, Frosties are just like.
What from Wendy's?
No, not from Wendy's. You know, Frosties?
No, Frosties. There's Frosties milkshake, and there's Frosties.
Frosties killer.
Frosties cereal. Lucky Charms, Dan, are they the ones with the marshmallow bits in as well?
Yeah, and they have chocolate version as well.
They have chocolate ones.
Yeah,
my kids have them.
Yeah, my 4-year-old just takes out the marshmallow bits, whereas my favourite Bob Spur Jr. is on them.
I think all the cereals, even though they're still full of sugar, have actually had sugar removed, and so they're not as good as I remember them. I mean, when I was the last time I was in America was 2007, and chocolate Lucky Charms was basically like crack.
If you want to try something, I'll tell you what I recommend. I know we're going off football, but cornflakes, proper Kellogg's cornflakes, but get almonds, skin the almonds, put them in warm water, skin them so there's no skin on them. Almonds with cornflakes with ice cold milk. I'll tell you what, absolutely
the basic Kellogg's cornflakes, right?
Yeah, basic Kellogg's cornflakes.
In the Philippines, in the Philippines they have Special K with oats and almonds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Although I wouldn't recommend having Khalid for breakfast.
Cheerios is quite underrated.
Cheerios.
Yeah, my kids have them as well.
It's seen as America's cereal. It's the most popular cereal there. Anyway,
John is asking this. Do you remember the cereal Star?
Yes, it was basically it was.
What brand was that?
It was Kellogg's, but it was basically.
Was it Nestle? It was Nestle, wasn't it? It was Nestle. I'm sure it was.
Well, either way, just imagine it sort of had a bit of a Cheerio flavor, but it was a bit more chunky. So.
Yeah, it didn't last long, Eugene.
Okay, it ended. It started and it ended.
It started and ended. Yeah, they should have called it end. Yeah.
Yeah, not start, right? Oh, end.
Anyway, Bob, have you got any juicy news for us regards the future players coming in or going out? Anything we might have missed?
No. I think Milenkovic looks like he's staying at Fiorentina. What likely to stay at Fiorentina, which is a shame because I think we could really do with him. Dan's just given us an update on the Martinez stories. And
Adam Traore, apparently Nuno is interested in Traore, bringing Traore from Wolves.
Yeah, I don't. So 40 million for a player like that, I'd rather spend the 40 million elsewhere. We don't need another winger. We need to, if anything, we need a striker more and a centre back more. There's no point of getting a Traore, and I don't rate him anyway. It's a personal thing. I don't think he's that great. I think the only reason he had a good statistical season was because of Jimenez, who managed to put all his crosses in. But you saw what it was like without a proper striker last season. He runs into corners and has no end product. I would have happily kept Lamela if that was the case.
Danny?
So some breaking news I'm breaking through right now on Twitter. Harry Winks has unfollowed Spurs official on
Yeah,
Instagram.
yeah, that was yeah.
He's
He
going.
unfollowed.
No, he's unfollowed Spurs official on Instagram. Take what
Why?
you want from that, but
Yeah, that
maybe
was yeah.
because
He
he's
unfollowed it.
leaving. Maybe because he's
Yeah, I
leaving.
mean, you'd think if his PR people have come up to him and told him he's leaving, it's a bit premature if he's unfollowed us and he doesn't leave now. But the signs are there that he's unfollowed us on Instagram and all other social media based platforms. So yeah, that's hopefully it's good news. There is a bit of shame tinge to it because he is one of our own. He has come through the academy, but unfortunately, we've probably outgrown him. His ability isn't as suit Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. We're looking for. Put it this way: Skip in what one game has probably surpassed what Winks has done over the last 2 or 3 years. So
That's true.
yeah,
That's true.
unfortunate for him. Like I say, bit of sadness tinge to it because he is
Mm.
a Spurs
the
boy.
youth.
But
Yeah.
we just hope wherever he goes, if he goes, he does really well for him. He does really well for him.
No, but he's unfollowed the Spurs official Instagram, right? But
Yeah.
what
I don't-
link has what link has he been? What club has he been linked to?
Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's a
that's
little
a
bit
weird
behind
part.
the scenes. Maybe it's a little bit quiet.
Yeah. Yeah, not sure, mate. I hope he stays in the Premier League. I do. I think it's kind of a Villa person. It would suit the likes of a Villa
Villa
or
or
a
Southampton.
Southampton.
Yeah.
A Ward Press, a swap wouldn't go amiss, but I don't think
Yeah.
after Højbjerg,
that'll be
after we
good.
had their pants down with Højbjerg, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
There's a couple of interesting news stories that just seem to be coming up. All on one football. From tribal football, we've got Kane counting on Man City finding transfer breakthrough by the weekend. Man and football faithful, 18 minutes ago, Man City claimed to be prepared to meet the 150 evaluation for Kane. Tribal football again. Tottenham turned to Barcelona defender Samuel M.City. And another Troy. Yeah, Joaquin. Well, Everton are pressing to get Joaquin.
A lot of
Carrera,
news coming out lately.
Lazio.
Winger, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. But well, let's come back to the Wings thing, right? Usually when it's quiet, I think the deal is being done. Or for what Bobby is saying, right? I would love James Watts-Prowse to come, right, and
Yep.
make a direct swap for him.
Set piece.
For the set pieces that he
can take a
provide.
free kick. None of our players can. The only thing I worry about Ward Prowse coming in, it'll probably hinder Skip, Oliver Skip's progression. So, but yeah, we need a big squad. We need quality as well as quantity right now.
Yeah.
So
we need a depth in the squad.
Ward-Prowse
That's very true. Yeah.
is brilliant, and it will certainly become. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. But I think it will become more of a definitive start for England by
And
moving to a.
Bob,
Yeah.
something that we need desperately is a set piece taker.
Yeah, 100%.
When was the last time we scored from a set piece?
Yeah, he's a free kick taker.
I think we've conceded from set pieces more than we've scored set pieces.
Yeah, I think Reguilon during his time here has probably created the most set pieces, free kicks, crosses than anyone else, and he's our left back. He's our left back. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we do need someone. I think Ward-Prowse, but I just think the relationship, how we had their pants down with Højbjerg, and I think is going to come back to bite us.
It was almost like Southampton becoming a feeder club for Spurs. So.
Yeah, and Liverpool.
Yeah. No, but the funny thing is that during the Højbjerg deal, right? Højbjerg was cheaper than
Kyle Walker's Peters.
Kyle Walker, Peters, yeah. That was surprising. That's why I think that pissed off the Southampton chairman hell of a lot.
Well, it's their own fault. It's their own fault. I suppose it was coming up to us last year. You know, we wanted to leave. We were quite. It wasn't a case of we went in for him at the summer. I think it was a good 6-7 months of build up with negotiating with Southampton and with his agents, because obviously he could speak to us from January onwards. So, but yeah, I think they maybe should have kept their stance. 12 Christmas.
Well, he's got 12 dribbles in the first game, opening day.
Yeah. That's just because he was hungry.
You got to remember, I mean, Palace will always be a team who will have more of a counter attack. They're seen as one of the weaker teams. So the likes of Chelsea will be the attacking force, and as an
Yeah.
outlay, Traore will be the one who's going to be the go-to man. So it's no surprise to me that he made 12 dribbles. There's no end product. He
True.
just doesn't. I don't expect people to agree with me, but I think he's shit.
Mhm.
I really
Yeah.
do think he's shit. I think he's overrated because he's got a bit of muscle and he's got a bit of pace. We need more than that. We need more than
No.
that. Keep Steve. Now everyone's slating Steve Bergwijn and all that. I think he's got more in him than what Traore
Traore
has.
has.
I
Yeah.
don't rate him one little bit. 40 million. I think we'd be the ones with our pants down. I just think he's
Yeah.
shit. I just think it's completely crap.
Yeah,
That's
It's,
true.
well,
That's true.
it's an inflated market at the
Yeah.
moment. So
Yeah.
But
I think also-
guys, haven't you noticed, right, that every time a Premier League team goes for a player, right, the prices just go up 10, 15
Yeah.
million euros.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
But
the rest
we
of
don't need
the
we
leagues,
don't need a winger
no,
right
the,
now.
yeah,
Yeah.
the rest of the
We
leagues
do need
see
a
us as
winger,
the
but-
cash cow at the moment. If I
Yeah,
don't,
yeah.
you know, it's a cash cow, right? But coming back to Adama Traore, he played against Leicester, against in Wolves, right? I actually watched that match, right? Whenever he goes on his runs, like what Bobby says, no end product. So if you want to bring in a player with no end product, why bring him in, right? Must well just work on Steven Bergwijn and Stevie B, right, to improve on his shooting capabilities. That's all.
That's
Right?
it.
Yeah, just to work
I
on
say,
it.
I don't think there's. I believe some of the play that Stevie B showed against Man City with his, put it this way, even I know it was slightly overhit, but that through ball to Sonny to then collect it on the left and cut inside and score, or their right. I don't think Traore would see that pass. I think he'd just he'd carry on running into the box and not see.
Yeah.
He doesn't see a pass. He doesn't see a pass. His head down, straight forward, and he'll either end up with a shot or a wayward cross. And the only reason he had a couple of good stats in a season was because of Jimenez. Jimenez was the right man in the right place. Some people would argue, oh, we've got strikers of that caliber. I just don't think we need a Traore right now. We do not need.
That's true.
I'd rather spend that 40 million on a striker and or a centre back. Overrated for me. It's just overrated.
That's
think
true.
I think it's a
That's true.
shame. I think it's a shame that Spurs fans are getting excited over it. It just shows where the ambition is right now.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
Bobby, the scenario with Harry Kane now in the saga that's been going on, right? Has Daniel Levy actually drawn the line to tell M.City, right? If we don't get a real bid coming in by end of this week, right, we're closing the doors, like what Dortmund did with Sancho when MU was chasing after Sancho. You don't come in with a bid that we want, we'll close the door on you, and it's over. There's no more.
Well, don't you think it's a bit late now anyway? Who are we going to get in? I mean, that's 14 days. If he goes today, even then we're really clutching at straws within 14 days to get a striker in, to get him signed, to come in, become part of the squad, learn Nuno's ways, learn how the team play, learn the pressing game. We're still clutching at straws, and for me, it's too late. It's too late. Another thing, I'm on Cody's side. We should not be selling to Man City anyway.
Yeah,
I think the way they walk around, they're a bully in my eyes. The way they walk around with this self-entitlement attitude that they've got, doing us a favour by taking Kane off us. No, sorry, piss off, Man City. If you wanted to pay, if you really thought it was that much, you should have paid 160. In my eyes, he's staying. I've always said that. The group chat. Eugene, I've always stated 3 words: Kane is staying.
Kane.
It's on auto descriptive right now. I'll just put in Kane, and he's staying. Will come up automatically. That's how many times I believe he's staying. And if it means him not getting a couple of games and him missing out on England, then so be it. You don't throw your toys out the pram and get what you want. And going to Man City is no challenge. They've bought everything. They've bought titles. They've got an overrated coach. They've got a manager, i.e. the owner, who buys expensive toys, gives it to Pep to go and play with. There's no challenge there. There's no challenge. Winning stuff at Man City has absolutely no meaning. It's a hollow victory because if you're playing alongside in a squad that's been built from £1 billion worth of money spent. Nah, it's and let's be honest. Before that money came in, they were shit. They were shit. And right now, they've got no class. They're still a shit team. In my eyes, they're still a shit team.
Yeah,
One thing they can't buy is class.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that it just really shows you when Pep Guardiola called us a Harry Kane team. We beat him like 9 times without Harry Kane.
6 times, if I'm not mistaken.
6 times, but it's still a lot of time.
Yeah, yeah, 5 or 6 times. So but what Bobby is saying, right? We should take the Cody stance, right? Well, when we had the show last night, we on top.
We're going to call that. We're going to call it now. We're going to call it the Cody stance. That's
the
it.
Cody stance. Yeah,
We're
the
gonna
Cody
call it.
stance.
You have the top
yeah.
until he's in the shirt, and then Cody's the Cody
Yeah,
stance.
he
The
stands.
Cody
Yeah,
stance.
because what he said, it was very true, right? If we were going to sell Harry Kane for 150 million pounds, right, we shouldn't be selling it to a Premier League team, right? It doesn't matter whether we are challenging them or not. Just based on principle, we are not supposed to sell in that way. And like Brian Daigle's been saying, right, Levy has already said he won't sell to a Premier League team. And what Brian has been waiting is for Levy to go back on his word again. And like most of the time, right? Brian Daigle is correct. Most of the time,
Unfortunately,
Brian
big
Daigle.
up, brother.
Unfortunately, yeah, big up to Brian, right? But in the end of the day, 150 million pounds. Do you think it's worth it? 50 million pounds. Do you think it's worth it to let him go at 150 million pounds?
No. Like I say, it's principle. If Real Madrid came in with 140, I'd be like, you know what? See you later, mate. I'd be like, it's the fact it's Man City. I hate Man City right now more than Arsenal, and I honestly mean that. I hate Man City more than I hate Arsenal right now. But maybe it's because Arsenal aren't even seen as a threat. They're just another, a team who don't mean that much. But I hate what Man City are right now. I hate what they stand for. I hate the bully tactics. Like I say, the self-entitlement attitude. Constantly, what Pet's been saying he first of all came out and talks about Harry Kane. You know, if he wants to come, Tottenham need to go negotiate. Then the following, that was a one-off. I don't want to speak about Harry Kane. There was a one-off. We all know Harry Kane's a Tottenham player, so I don't wish to talk about. Even by not speaking about him, he mentioned Harry Kane about 4 times. What a twat! I'm sorry, Pep. You're a fraudiola. You know Guardiola. You wouldn't last 2 months. No, you wouldn't last 5 months at Burnley. Sean Dyche is a better coach than you. So, no, mate, nothing. No, empty. Everything. Man City as a club are empty.
Yeah.
Empty. They're an empty box surrounded by pound notes. It's empty. It's hollow.
Yeah. Eugene, how long is this stream going to carry on for?
I don't know, another 10, 15 minutes, depending on how interesting it gets. Do you have to go?
I think I have to go. I hear my mother screaming downstairs at me that breakfast is
Screaming?
Screaming? Daniel. My son. She says the full name once it's like the 3rd time. Daniel, David, Medina.
Okay. Well, at least make sure that you have a little bit of chocolate Lucky Charms. Don't just plumb for Cookie Crisp again.
Yeah.
I'll
And
put
just do a shout out for your channel, Daniel.
Well, you guys can find me at DanTHFC. I've officially moved to this one, so now I can do live streams. So it's gonna be a lot more interesting. We've got a lot more.
Anyone who's thinking Yid Kid, now think Dan THFC. Get it in your head. Yid Kid is Dan THFC.
Yeah, but when I go on other channels, I could be like Dan THFC, aka Yid Kid.
You know what?
Because a lot of people have that stuck in their mind every time I come on. No, you're the Yid Kid, and I'm like, you can call me.
One of my ambitions in life is to appear on Dan's channel. I so want to do that. I kind of made my semi-debut last night by being in the chat, but it's at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah,
man.
I have to do one. I have to do
hardcore.
it for the English.
Yeah. If you do one earlier, mate, I'm there 100%. Usually we'll tell you if I say I'm going to be there. I know. I'll be there. But 3 a.m., man. I love you, but I don't love you that much.
Dan, your breakfast time. your breakfast time is Bob's lunchtime, and your bedtime is Bob's breakfast time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the time difference is mad. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I know, man. Yeah. As Kurz calls it, time traveling.
One of my life ambitions is to be on Bobspur.
Oh man, I'll get you on 100%. I'll get you on. Yeah, you just need to let me know.
Yeah, and Daniel better go before your mom comes up with a cleaver.
Yeah.
She's on her second Daniel.
Yeah. All right, guys, take care.
Okay, take care. Catch up later.
Leave you out.
All right. Okay, let's see what Hotspur Huddle have to say here. Can you buy someone of Kane's quality with 150 million? No, you can't. No, you can. Oh, it should be can't,
No,
right?
can't. Yeah.
So yeah. So why sell when there is no one of Kane's caliber and the deadlines? I guess coming soon. Yeah, the deadline is coming soon.
Why is he? Why is he? Why is he talking about non-alcoholic beer? Kane's caliber.
Caliber.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. Oh, there's a non-alcoholic beer called Caliber. No, didn't know that.
And
Yeah.
before
Right,
that, you had Kestrel or something like that. Yeah.
It was
okay.
with a K, wasn't
Right.
it? Yeah.
Okay. No, but at the end of the day, right? Even at 150 million pounds, I don't think that is the price that we want to sell him for. Right?
Man City are the ones who market value is relation
175,
is related to,
right?
market value is judged by market trend, and Man City have caused the trend by spending 100 million on Grealish.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, the way I look at it is, for me, stats. I think I mentioned it before. Stat wise, performance wise in the Premier League, Sonny is better than a Grealish. Sonny will bring more to a team than a Grealish. And if Sonny is worth more than Grealish, I'd say it's about 120, 130. We all agree Kane is worth more than a Sonny. So for me, you're right. It's 175, 200 for me for Kane. So even at 160, I think we're taking a bit of a cut there. The guy's got 3 years on his contract, man. 3 years on his contract, not 2 years, not 1 year. He will stay. He needs to stay, and he's going to stay for the full 3 years. You want to move on, you can piss off on a free afterwards. Yes, I'll
But
still stand by.
Do you think we realistically are going to achieve the goals that he himself is setting for himself within his contract?
I agree with you. I agree with the point that Daniel Levy and Enoch, or I'm going to call him Lenik, are the people who the reason why Kane's find himself. I'm not. A lot of people are bigging up Levy. In this instance, I say well done, Levy, for digging your heels in. But mate, it's your own fault. It's your own fault.
Yeah.
You're in this position where you have to dig your heels in, and your best player, the best striker in the world, who plays for Tottenham Hotspur, wants to leave. It's your own fault for not matching his ambitions, for not matching our ambitions, for not matching the club's ambition when they were achievable. We were the second best team in Europe. Papered over loads of cracks. We were shit. We were a shit team. We were rubbish.
Yeah.
We did not deserve to be the second best team in Europe, but we were. We were officially the second best team in Europe. We had that caliber. We had that stance. We had that pulling power to go to any player in the world and say, we're the second best team in Europe. Come, we're going to build something now. We're going to build something. And
but he didn't do it.
We let it slip.
Yeah. That's why the overall situation was actually created by Daniel Levy. And that's why maybe this kind of scenario that what he's building up now, right? He's actually trying to deflect all that hate towards Kane. And Levy's best at deflecting hate, right? So
I don't think he's deflecting it. I think he's just managing to reconfigure it. It's still there because every time he's trying to deflect it, he's just underscoring the mess he's making.
Yeah, but we need to separate, don't we, Jamie? We need to separate. We need to separate the two issues. Levy's a twat, Lineker a twat for not progressing, for not matching the ambition of our best player Rightly so. There was nothing wrong with the club matching Harry Kane's ambition. There's nothing. There's no. You're not going to lose anything out of that. We should be doing that. We should be building a team around Kane. But we need to differentiate between Lenik letting the club down and Kane down, and Kane's attitude and his actions. What Kane's doing right now is totally out of order. He's acting like a twat, a spoiled brat. He should not be doing what he's doing. But why we're here is totally down to Lenik. But we need to separate the two. He should have turned up. He should have. If you want to leave a club, if you're so desperately to leave a club, regardless of your hometown, whatever, you don't go on holiday. Yeah? You don't go on holiday. You turn up on the first day, you sit down like adults and say, okay, let's put all the personal agreement or the gentleman's agreement to one side. I'm telling you, I want to leave Tottenham Hotspur Football Club to go and win something. If Man City had come in with a suitable figure right from that Monday, there would have been a part of me saying, you know what, okay, well done. But for this continuous shit show to carry on, and Kane constantly throws toys out the pram, and his attitude stinks, and his representatives aren't doing him any favour. I think it's totally out of order. And one thing that we as Spurs fans are finally able to do, rightly or wrongly, is question his professionalism, question his love of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Because prior to last Monday, no one could do that. No one could question his professionalism or his love of Spurs or his commitment towards Spurs. There would have been a case of no matter what, Harry Kane will always give us his best. No one believes that now. No one believes that. And there'll always be a finger pointing at him about his professionalism and his love of the club. And that's going to hurt him more than the fans. So, no, it's we need to differentiate the two. Levy out, Enoch out, Lineker out, 100%. But what Kane's doing right now is a twat show.
Yeah, but okay, Bobby, as we knew that when the squad was named for the Ferrero Rocher team, right? Ferrero Rocher, we call it.
Yeah,
I call that,
Okay, you called it, for the Ferrero Rocher team, right? He was in the squad, but when the team left for Portugal today to play the Ferrero Rocher team, right? He was not in the squad, right?
Yep.
And that is something like you're saying, oh, now the club is saying that, oh, we put him in the squad is because just in case we might have to play him in the following league, following leg, right? And let's say if Sunday's game come up, would you want Kane to be in the starting lineup?
Yeah,
if he's available.
He needs to be not a side lineup. No, he needs to be in the squad. He needs to win his way in. Talk about say with Romero as well. Just because he's a £50 million player, it doesn't mean he walks into the first 11. For me, Kane, no, he's got no right. He's lost all right in my eyes to be starting in that 11. And we need to play with that high press game. And right now, Lucas, Bergwijn, and Sonny are the players to do that. It's worked against Man City. Nuno's come out and said it's a clean slate for everyone. You know, it is a clean slate. There's no reason, no players given Nuno any excuse, any reason to be dropped. That's why I still say Sanchez and Dyer start against Wolves.
Yes.
Like I say, they've given him no reason to be dropped. And for Sanchez, for me, who had his best game in a Spurs shirt ever, I really do believe that. I think Sanchez, the way he passed, his tackling, his positioning play, he, for me, had the best performance in the Spurs shirt of all time, himself personally. If he got dropped after that, what would that say about what Nuno's saying about clean slate, the trust in Nuno, the player's confidence? No, I would. Romero should be on the bench, and as far as I'm concerned, Kane should as well. What the blunder's coming? We all know. We're all expecting a blunder from either a Sanchez or a Dyer. That's the time. Yeah, okay, fine. Now you've justified my action of bringing Romero into the team, but to do it on the second league game, to make any formal changes and drop either a Sanchez or a Dyer or any of the front three because of a Kane and Romero, for me will raise a lot more questions within the team, within the squad, than just playing them. And Romero needs to know that as well. Just because I'm a £50 million player doesn't give me the outright right to walk into the 11. He would have seen the performance against Man City, and I'm sure he wouldn't qualm at the suggestion that have any qualms with the suggestion that Dyer and Sanchez right now are the number one pairing.
That's true. And have you got any kind of inkling of what Nuno will put up against the Ferrero Rocher team in Portugal?
Well, I hope
you're making me hungry, Eugene.
I am hungry.
we kind of hope he plays the likes of Divine, and I know Jamie's a big fan of Alfie, isn't he? And Scala, he's taken over a few.
I think Scala's not in the squad.
Oh yeah, no, he's on the B squad. He's on the B squad, so I don't think.
Oh, he's in the B squad, not in the.
I just hope he does bring on a couple of people. Hill. We want to see. I think Romero should get 90 minutes against Ferrero Rocher. I really do believe that. So,
you're doing this deliberately, aren't you?
Yeah. I can't say the name. So yeah, hope for a few changes, mate. Yeah.
Right, that's good. That's good. Bobby, just before we end the stream, right? Have you anything else to say? And shout out to your channel. And what are the programs coming up this week?
Yeah, well, Thursday night, I don't know if I'm doing one yet. If there's any news, if it's a continuous saga of Kane, I probably won't want to because I'm getting bored of it. You bore me, Kane. You bore me. And
Is that going to be another catchphrase?
No, we don't use that catchphrase. It belongs
no, I
to
think
someone else.
someone's got.
Oh,
We're
no, that's
laughing at it somewhat.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're laughing at the grumpy old man.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, we
yes.
are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent out a personal message for the grumpy old man and one before one of my streams, and I'm still awaiting an answer of some form. There was a
He'll never show
one-on-one.
up.
Probably
Yeah,
blocked you.
there's a one-on-one with him, and I've invited him on. He's declined so far. I've emailed him personally as well. Nothing.
Oh, okay.
But no, mate. I just hope for some form of transfer activity, outs as well as ins. Just want to get the Kane issue resolved, mate. Just want to get it. Just want to get it.
But your
done.
Thursday show, wouldn't it be after the Ferrero Rocher match?
It will be, yeah. It will be after the Ferrero Rocher match. But I don't know who else is doing it within the
You're
Spurs
saying
group.
it with such a straight face. It's like,
Yeah. It's Ferrero Rocher. If I do go Thursday night, it will be about 10:30. So yeah, I might do a quick review on that. But yeah, otherwise it's in the Wall show 10:30 Saturday nights, and then the day after, the day before show, which is after a league game. So I'll be doing it Monday afternoon again.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, Bobby, I'll just put you out to the side for a while. Or I'll just say thank you to the guests and all that, and before we end the show, catch up later, Bobby.
Big up, buddy.
Okay, guys, I'll say thank you to all those that's been in the comments, like John Fitzpatrick, Wayne Bonner, Adam, Gugoma, Hotspur Huddle. Who else do we have?
we had Mike Swift earlier.
Mark Swift earlier. Mark Swift was here earlier, right? And of course, Bobby, who was earlier on the stream, on the chats, and now is on the stream. And who else do we have? I guess more or less that. And all those who are actually
we had a hello from Chris. Gave you a
Chris and Chris too. Yeah, Chris gave us a big up. Right. Thank you for your support, guys. And if you are watching and if you're in the comments, do put in the comments. At least we know you're around.
Watching now or watching it later.
Watching later. Yeah, and please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Please smash the like if you haven't smashed the like. And for at the moment, let's say, come on, you Spurs.
Yes, and let's win the first European game.